Evening, hi, it's the dinner lady here. Right, so this is going to be the second part of doing my Christmas prep. So today I'm going to be doing me stuffing, pigs and blankets, and I'm going to finish off the Christmas cake. So I'll bring you down and I'll show you everything that I've got here. Not much. Right, for the stuffing, I have some streaky bacon. I've got some sausages and I've got some just plain stuffing mix. This is how my family likes it. I have done it other ways in the past. I've done it with masala and pork and chicken livers and everything, and the family just prefer it this way. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm also going to do pigs in blankets. Now there's 8 of us for Christmas Day, so I always do 2 pigs in blankets each. I like to use proper sausages as well and some more streaky bacon. And to finish off the Christmas cake, I have my Christmas cake that's been here for weeks now. I have some white fondant icing, some marzipan. I'll only be doing the top of that because some of my lot aren't that keen on it. And I've got some nice quiche little cake decorations to go on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a stuffing mix because I am actually going to cook it today. Then once it's cooled, it's going to go to my son's and go into his freezer. And then on Christmas Day, all you have to do is warm it through and crispen up the bacon on the outside. Then I'm going to get on with doing the pigs and blankets. They'll go into a foil tray. And then lastly, we'll get on with doing the Christmas cake. So we'll get all set up and we'll get cracking. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is get the sausages out of the skins. You can buy sausage meat, I know, in a roll. However, I find that a little bit bland, and I just think, why not use the sausages that you like the most? That's why I've got the pork sausages for the pigs and blankets, and a little bit of Lincolnshire sausage in here. So there's 400 grams of sausage meat in these 6 sausages. So I'm going to be using half the amount of stuffing, which means it'll be 200 grams of stuffing. However, I've bought this stuffing pack, didn't even look at the weight on the back, and there's only 170 in there, so 170 will do. So all I'm going to do first is get the skins off these sausages and then I'll come back to you. Right, so I've peeled all of them. Now I'm just going to open this up and put that in. And then I'm going to get it in with my hands. They're all washed. I've washed them after doing the sausages, and I'm just going to mix it all together. This probably takes a little while because the sausages are still pretty cold out of the fridge. But it does eventually all go into there. I mean, at this point you can make them into balls once these are done. Just gonna keep going. Just every time I go like that, I'm just picking up a little bit more inside the sausages. Like I say, this bit takes a little while, but it's not going to be dry when it's cooked because you've got all of your fat and your juices coming out of the sausage meat. And I am going to wrap it in bacon, so you have the juices and the fat coming out of the bacon as well. So don't be worried at this stage where you think, oh my goodness, that's going to be far too dry. It certainly won't. Right, that's just about there. I mean, if you are worried about that, you could put a drop of stock in, you know, the way I do the stuffing for Sunday dinner. Drop a bit of stock in if you're worried about that, but I don't feel like you need to actually. Right, and that's just about, just open it up. Yeah, stuffing's nearly all the way through it. Just a couple more, I think. Right, so I'm going to quickly rub my hands down a second. Tea towel. Now I like to do them in these. They're just small bread tins. The reason why I like that is because it doesn't take too long to cook, so the outside goes dry before the inside's cooked through. And also I like the fact that whatever's leftovers you've got, you can slice it for sandwiches. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the bacon. I'm going to line the tin halfway along the bottom. That's so you can see it's a bit more than halfway that. Well, we need a little bit of a leftover anyway, so oh, don't know what that was. And overlap them just a little bit as well. Right, so I'm just going to carry on and go all the way around with this one. Right, so I've done both sides. Now I don't want to have such a big bit on the side bits here, so I've cut these ones in half. I'm just going to put 3 on there. And at the end bits as well. Here we go. Pull that out of the way for now. So I'm going to use half of this. Just press that in, just a little bit more. Press that in there. And then what I do is just flap these over like that. And just keep going, and then I'm going to do the rest of them. Right, that's both of those done. I did cut down the bacon because I thought there was going to be too much and used half of the bacon for the other one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a bit of greaseproof paper on the top of each one. Bit left over. I'm going to cover these in kitchen foil. And I'm going to be cooking this in the Kasori Grand Zone. Because with this being Christmas prep, normally what we cook on that day is what we eat for tea. But obviously because this is Christmas prep, I'm going to do a bit of belly pork with that as well. So as soon as the top's on this, right, we'll go over to the Kasori. Right, so it might be a bit darker over here. The lighting's not that great. So I've got them 2 in there. So I've got those 2 in there. Like I say, I'm going to do a bit of belly pork for mine and Ian's tea. So I'm going to pop that into that side. So quickly wipe my hands. Right, let's turn it on. So zone 1, it's what's got the stuffing in. I'm going to bring that down to 180. And I'm going to do that for 35 minutes. And on zone 2, I want that at 205, and that's going to be for 12 minutes. Don't need to sink it because I'm going to be turning the belly pork further down and cooking it for a bit longer. So that's that, and then we'll get back over there and we'll start doing my pigs and blankets. Right, so back over here, we had a sandwich. That's why this one's open. So these are the simplest thing ever. And me and Ian, when we were shopping the other day, we were looking at the prices of the pre-made ones in the shops. I think there was 12 in Lidl's. They were the deluxe ones, but there was 12 little tiny cocktail sausages with the pigs and blankets, and they were £3 something. And I just thought, oh my goodness. So that's it, you wrap a piece of bacon around a sausage, there you go. Right, so I'm just going to keep carrying on with this. I always try to put the 2 end bits on the bottom, Doesn't always work out that way, but if it, to be honest, you know, the one thing I could actually do without on Christmas Day, well, actually the one thing I don't really have to cook would be the meat, because if they, my lot, if they could have the stuffing, all the trimmings, got to do Yorkshire puddings as well, can't not have Yorkshire puddings, pigs in blankets. I think it's the trimmings that they enjoy the most. But you know what I enjoy the most? The leftovers. The things you can do with the leftovers, that's mine. You know when you're absolutely stuffed off Christmas lunch, but every time you go in the kitchen you can't help but sort of like pick up a pigs in blankets or something like that. Right, so I'm just going to carry on and do the rest of these. It'll only take about 5 minutes. I've got 2 trays for these because I know they won't all fit on one. So I'm just going to carry on with these and then I'll come back to you. Right, so they're all done. I've put them so you can get, once they go into the oven on Christmas Day, there'll be plenty of airflow around. So again, same as what I did with the others. So, it's now my stuffing in there cooking, my pigs and blankets are done, I've got my roast potatoes ready, the carrots and the parsnips, and was there something else? Oh yes, I've done the mincemeat as well, haven't I? And I've got my Christmas cake. So, that's them, and we'll get on. I'm going to clean down, disinfect everything because of the raw meat, and then I will get on with doing the Christmas cake. Right, so this is Christmas cake time now. So I normally use like apricot jelly or some or preserve to go across the top, but we got this whiskey marmalade given off a neighbour, so I thought it's got orange and everything in, so why not? And even though it's whiskey, it's not going to clash with the brandy that's already in it. So, first thing I'm going to do is get, I can open this, there we go. Oh, it smells lovely. Orangey, can't smell any whiskey. I'm going to get a couple of dessert spoons of those, that into there. And I'm just going to melt that down a little bit in the microwave. That'll be 2 ticks. Right, well, I was dealing with the belly pork and that's gone a little bit too hot, as you can see from the steam on there. But I'm not going to use that right this minute anyway. So let's reveal the Christmas cake. Now this little beauty has been sat in the garage where it's really nice and cool for the last 4-5 weeks. I'm just going to move that over. I'm just going to get back in that. But for now, that's my Christmas cake, guys. As you can see, fruits all the way around it. So what I want to do to finish this off and to be able to top it, I want a nice flat top, so I'm just going to cut just this little domey bit off, and I'm sure Ian won't mind because he'll have something to munch on. And that's Ian's perks there. And as you can see, all of the fruit and everything in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is put put 1 last tablespoon of brandy on there. Just try and get it so it's covered all over. There we go. I'm just going to move this all over to one side. A little plate to put in on for Ian's munchies. So to move that out of the way. I'm going to move this out of the way, clear up a little bit, and we'll start with the marzipan. Right, so here's my marzipan. Got that from Lidl's. Can't remember how much it was. I've had it for weeks, to be honest. And that's what it looks like once you take it out. Now it does say to knead it until it's pliable. Must be the heat off your hands. I'm just going to move that out of the way a little bit. And then we'll roll it out. I think you have to do the same with the royal icing because they both seemed really hard. There we go. It's starting to feel it giving a little bit underneath. See if we can roll it a little bit. Don't want this too thick on the cake, so we will be rolling it out pretty far. It's starting to go. Any excess will get eaten with the excess of the cake. Oh, sorry. Should move this along a little bit. Still see, yeah. Right. So I'm just going to keep rolling this out until it's the right thickness that I want. Right, so I'm still rolling this out, guys, but it's starting to stick a little bit. So what I've got here is I've got some icing sugar, which is just going to do the job of what flour would do. Put a little bit on each side, and you can see where it started to stick on the bench. So I'm going to continue to do this, use the icing sugar when I need to, and I'll come back to you, like I say, when it's at the right thickness. Right, so that's about the thickness I've got. As you can see, I've used the cake itself as a template. This can go over there. Going to give it just a little bit more. And that's the bit that I stood the cake on, so that's where it's going to go first. Bring the cake over and then just put this on the top. A little bit over the edges. Just work it around a little bit like that. Oh, do you know what I've got to do? I've got to put my marmalade on. I always forget something, don't I? Now you don't have to put this much on. You can just put like a thin layer. This is just to help it stick. And once it sets up, you've got like a nice citrus layer on there. See, what we'll do is we'll put this back on around the edges. Just like that. Right, now it's time to do the same with the icing. Right, so I've kneaded it a little bit just to get it so it's a bit pliable. And do the same as what I did. I'm just going to use a little bit of icing sugar just to make sure that it doesn't stick. Try and get it into around. I haven't used it all. I've used just over half of this pack here. It's a 1 kilo pack. I'll probably use that for something else. There we go. I mean, you can make your own if that's what you want to do. But this stuff I just bought, it's cheap from Lidl's, and it's just the matter of rolling it out to the thickness that you would like. There's about 4 minutes left on the stuffing. So this is all to personal choice how thick you would like your icing to be. I think it's probably going to be thin enough for me. It's about that thin. So once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the cake over. I'm going to stand it on there. And I'm going to cut round. So a little bit more. See if I can see. A little bit all the way around. Just find this is the easiest way rather than try to cut it once it's on the cake. Move the cake over here. Leftovers for Ian, that goes with the other bits. And if you're wondering why I keep saying leftovers for Ian, is because I don't like Christmas cake. So I'm going to roll this out just a little bit further. It's going to be the underside anyway, guys. Oh, sorry. I got a message today saying I should stop saying guys, so I'm going to try my best. If there's no other another word to call you, because I don't know everybody's name, and even if I did, I wouldn't have the time to be able to say everybody's name out loud. If there's something else that you'd like us to say rather than guys, if you find that offensive, which that person today did. So it's the marzipan and the icing on there, just for giggles. I'm going to give these a quick wash, just the bits that's going to go onto the cake, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at it all done. Right, so while I was cleaning these up, excuse me, the time went off on the stuffing. I have probed it and it was only at 54%, so I've put that back on to finish, and I've got these here now. I'm not going to push them right in right now because I'm going to be taking them back off so I can store it until the Christmas. And then the very last one, Merry Christmas. So I've got it, it's heavy. Oh, try and lift it a little bit. So I've got it around the edges so it's like snow, the way it's meant to. And there's my Christmas cake. So once the stuffing's all done, I'll bring you back and we'll finish off the video. See you in a bit. Right, so stuffing's done. I'm just going to quickly show you in here. All done. Flabby. But not bothered about that, because on Christmas Day, once this is cooled right down, it's going to go in the fridge. I take my grandson to nursery on a Wednesday morning, so I'm taking him tomorrow, which means I have to use my son in his partner's car, and he comes to pick the car up when he finishes work tomorrow afternoon. So I'll send him home with this and me 2 lots of pigs and blankets. They'll go in the freezer until Christmas Eve. So we've got that, and a lovely Christmas cake. So that's my second part of the Christmas prep. I'm thinking about maybe doing a third part, but I'll have to work out how I'm going to do that first. So thank you very much for watching again, guys. Absolutely love it. See, I've just said guys again, just so used to it. Like I say, comments down below if there's something that you want us to say instead of that. If you're happy for us to continue, I will continue. I just think it's a friendly term. But if it annoys the hell out of you, just let us know. But thank you very, very much once again. And we'll see you later. Bye.